Okay folks, final video. So we are looking this time at an expression that has a number in front of the x squared, so a coefficient of x squared that isn't 1. So in this example, we've got 3x squared. Okay, so we've got 3x squared plus 24x plus 46, and we're being asked to write this in the form a times x plus b all squared plus c. Now the method that we looked at in the last video is what we're going to do here as well. So we're going to have to multiply out this right hand side here. Okay, now this can get a little bit complicated, but like I said in the last video, okay, the more often you do this, the quicker you'll get at it and the more confident you'll be with it. And some of my pupils in the end have actually just memorised what it would look like, but it's always good just to do it, just to double check. So remember, we do the brackets first. So we're doing x plus b times x plus b first of all. And then we're going to times it by a, and then we're going to add c. So if we focus just on this part, so let me do it in a different colour and keep it in brackets, remember. X plus b times x plus b is x squared plus bx plus bx plus b squared. And we're timesing that by a. And then we're going to add on c. So if I times that by a, before I do that actually, let me tidy up the bracket. So I'm going to have x squared plus 2bx plus b squared. Okay, now that it's tidied up, multiply through by a, I get ax squared plus 2bx. That's wrong. What's wrong with that? Hope you spotted. It should be plus 2a. bx, and then a times b squared, so ab squared, and then I've got plus c. Now if you think about what we did on the last video, we said we were what's a process called comparing coefficients, okay, or we were looking at what matched. So if we look at our left hand side, we've got 3x squared plus 24x plus 46. So the 3x squared goes with the ax squared. So if we compare those coefficients, let me just keep it in that colour. I'm basically saying that a equals 3. Okay, so we can read that one off straight away. If we look at the next part, let's do it in blue. I've got plus 24. You've got to take the symbol in front of it, remember? So plus 24x is plus 2abx. So I'm saying that positive 2ab is the same as positive 24, and there could be negatives, so that's why I'm kind of mentioning the symbols here. Now, you worked out in the first part that a is 3. Okay, so we've got 2 times 3 times b is 24. Okay, let me just give myself a wee bit more space here. Oh, of course, I'm right at the bottom. Okay, so 6b is 24. And we're just going to sneak this up here because I've run out of space. So that would mean that b is 4. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So I've worked out what a is, I've worked out what b is, so the only thing that's left is to work out what c is. Now, this is all the stuff that's left that isn't attached to an x or an x squared. So this is the part that represents the number. So I've got a, b squared plus c represents the number, and the number is positive 46. If that was negative 46, you'd need to take the negative with you. Okay, so what we're going to have here then, okay, is we're going to have a is 3, b is 4, so I've got 3 times 4 squared, plus c equals 46. We're working out what c is. 4 squared is 16. 3 16s are 48, so I've got 48 plus c is 46. So that means that c is negative 2. Okay, so if we go back to the question, I'm going to have to do it above it because I've started at the wrong point on my screen. If we want to write 3x squared plus 24x plus 46 in that form, a was, let's just scroll back down to see, a was 3, so I've got 3 bracket x plus b. What was b? b was 4 all squared, and then I've got plus c, and c was minus 2, so I've got plus minus 2, and again I'm just going to go up the way just so you can see what I would have. 3 bracket x plus 4 all squared minus 2, because the whole plus and minus becomes a minus idea. So we have taken 3x squared plus 24x plus 46 and written it in this completing the square format by multiplying out the form we were asked for and then comparing the different parts. We're going to do one final example. Okay, I'm going to scroll right back up to the top so I've got plenty of space. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. We're going to be asked to write 4x squared minus 16x plus 23 in the form a bracket x plus p all squared plus q. So you'll often see a, b and c. You'll sometimes see a, p and q. Okay, so we're going to just use them both just so you get the general idea. So as we said, the left-hand side stays the same. Okay, 4x squared minus 16x plus 23. You don't need to write it every single line of working that we do. We kind of know that it's there. And we're going to multiply out this part here. So I've got a times x plus p times x plus p, and then plus q. I prefer to multiply this part out first. Okay, so I've got a times, keeping this in brackets though, x squared plus px, so that's plus 2px. So you can start to do these like quicker little shortcuts if you're confident. And then p times p is p squared. And then we would have ax squared plus 2apx plus ap squared. So that's me multiplied out that bracket. And then plus q. And we know that that's 4x squared minus 16x plus 23. Okay, so doing the same as we did down here with our kind of 3 different coloured parts, we're basically saying that 4x squared is the same as ax squared. Okay, so that means that a would be 4. Okay, we're then saying that negative 16 is positive 2apx. So 2ap must be negative 16 because these are the things that are both in front of the x's. Okay, now we know from this first part that a was 4, so I've got 2 times 4 times p is minus 16. So 8p is minus 16, so p is negative 2 if we solve that. So the final thing I just need to get is q. Okay, so ap squared plus q is all the numerical things, all the stuff that's not with an x. So ap squared plus q, and that's equal to positive 23. Remember, paying attention to whether it's positive or negative because that's going to affect our answers. Okay, now we've got a value for a, that's 4. We've got a value for p, that's negative 2. So we've got 4 times negative 2 squared plus q, which is what we're trying to work out, is 23. Negative 2 squared, that's 4. 4 fours are 16. So 16 plus q is 23. 23 take away 16 means that q is going to be 7. Okay, so I've got my 3 values for my 3 letters. So what that means if I tie it all together for the answer is that 4x squared minus 16x plus 23 is equal to a, so 4 bracket. Now it was x plus p all squared, so x plus minus 2 all squared plus 7 plus q. And again, just tidy up that plus and that minus to give you x, 4 times x minus 2 all squared plus 7. And if you're ever not sure that you've done any of these right, folks, you can take this and multiply it back out to check that you get back to where you started. Okay? If there's anything you're not sure about, just let me know.